You're tuned in to Floridian Rollo Let's Go. I'm your host, Floridian Rollo Let's Go, and I'm coming at you with another video. Let me take this banner off. Let me take this banner off right now. Give me 1 second. What's going on with the banner not being taken off? Okay, there we go. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on? We're going to have this topic. We're going to discuss this being 40 and over. You know, some of you that watch me is in your 30s, in your 20s, and you're wondering how life be in the 40s. Well, I will tell you this. Life is interesting in the 40s, just like it would be in the 30s and 20s. The only thing is you're supposed to be well set in this modern time. You know, biblically, you're supposed to be well off by the time you reach 30 years old as a man. Yet because we're in this society, you know what I'm saying, you have to wait till you're 40 for the most part to see some success. If you talk to any guy in their 40s, they'll tell you in their 20s and 30s, they've been through some things and they started making adjustments in their 40s because, you know, you be put to the wayside, economically speaking. When you look at your application, right? When you go to these sites, why do they ask you if you're under the age of 40? Do y'all pay attention to the application or not? Be honest. This is the game that they do. How many of you saw an application and they ask you, are you under the age of 40? Put a 1 in the chat. You don't have to like me because I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to tell the truth. How many of you, when you sign up for whatever site you go to, particularly if you're in a Liberace state, for the most part, how many of you read the application and it asked you online or in person, are you under the age of 40? This is how I know that they know that really you're supposed to be well off at 30 years old. You get what I'm saying? You're supposed to be well off by 30 years old. Because when they put on an application, are you under the age of 40? What they're saying is, what are you doing here at 40 years old plus? Why are you not where you need to be at 40 years old plus? That's what they're saying. See, no other content creator that I know of is telling y'all this. Because, see, if you don't pay attention to the dollar line, I don't know what else to tell you. You get what I'm saying? Because this is real. This is not no gimmick. I'm not saying something that I'm lying about. You got to remember that, yes, I ran a business for a little while. At the same time, I know when I went to these places, they ask these questions online. Or, in most cases, they will say, come in the office, you speak to a rep, an H&R rep, and they ask you, are you over 40 or under 40? UPS does it. A lot of these places does it, right? And you have to take this into consideration as a man. In this modern society, you're supposed to be well off at the age of 40. A lot of places don't want to tell you this. If you go to most places, you see people my age, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, in most cases 50. Some of them do it just to be active, yet they, for the most part, got some type of security blanket. You could tell when a person is doing pretty good, they just want to go to the site just to stay motivated, than a person who's going an extra mile like he was in his 20s and 30s. You get what I'm saying? So, like, I want to tell you, brothers in your 20s and 30 something, You want to be well off in your 40s. You do not want to be in these sites and these companies putting in the application talking about, yes, no, I'm not under 40. They don't tell you this. That runs up your credit score. Do you know that some of these places run up your credit score? So depending on your credit score and your ties to social media, it plays a pivotal role in what type of income they decide they want to give to you, or if you're valuable to them or not. So this is why you should take advantage of what they kind of give you and master your craft so that you don't have to be with them in their 40s. It's like getting with somebody in a relationship, right? It's like getting with somebody in a relationship. You haven't been in a relationship with somebody in a few years, or almost in a decade. And miraculously, you want to get in a relationship with someone. Times change. When I was coming up back in the days, they would not even ask those questions. Matter of fact, I remember they didn't ask if you over 18. They didn't ask none of those questions. They just want to make sure you qualify to be at that particular place. Why is they asking all these questions? Why no content creator talks about this? You get what I'm saying? So like a lot of you got to pay attention to the application, and that should let you know what type of expectations they are looking for. They really put a code that you have to hire, I would say rehire, because once you hire the first time, there's no such thing as hire again. That's cap. If you leave a place, you rehire. If you get in a relationship with another person, a man with a woman with a man, and we know that there's people out there that do their own, you know what? The point is, that's not your first time making out with somebody. That's not your first time getting it on with somebody. It should not be new to you. So it's called rehired. You're not hired, you're rehired, because it's your first time getting into something. They have your database go back to when you was in school, even if they don't ask for that. They got the technology they got is unbelievable. So by the time you press a button, they circulate your name, and then they have the HR, they have the AI to select you. You don't select them. They select you, and they have a timestamp on your name. You didn't know that, right? So when they ask, are you under 40? That means they will give you more leniency. When you over 40, you ain't got no leniency. They don't know why you there. They know you know everything. You know about the economy. This is another thing. If you over 40 and you don't know how the economy is and what's going on in these companies, something wrong with you. See, one thing about me, I know what's going on in these companies, and that's why I walk away, because I know the spirits start kicking in. So you in your 20s and 30s, you're not paying attention to what's going on at these sites. You're getting your money. You need to pay attention because your name is on that company at the end of the day. And that could affect your moving forward. Y'all didn't know that, right? I'm teaching you something. So if you go to a particular place, right, and you're not paying attention to the surroundings, you're not paying attention to asking certain questions, because me, I always ask questions. Let me give y'all answers. So let's say somebody, calls me and say, hey, I want to interview. I'm already used to interviews. I interview people. So it takes one to know one. So when you go in, the first thing you need to do is say, hey, how you doing? Pleasure to meet you. And pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to the person's hands and how they looking at you and you looking at them. Direct contact. And on top of that, Ask the questions about the company. What is it that you like about the company? What makes you you have to ask these questions. They'll be shocked. These are the type of things I ask them. I say, what made you sit here and, interview so many people? They're like, what? I'm the one who's trying to hire you. Why would you ask me that question? So it catches on to them. They're like, uh-oh. The reason why I do that, because I want my answer right away before I sign that contract. You get what I'm saying? You gotta develop your leadership at an early time. A lot of you guys in your 20s and 30s, you're too bubbly, you're expendable, and they don't want a person like me around you because I'm gonna give you the real reality of how these businesses is. So my thing is this, right? That's why they have these applications against 40 years old and up, especially 40-year-old men like myself. They have an issue with me because they can't control me. They can't dollar battery get me to kiss their behind. Whether it's a woman in charge or whether it's a man in charge, I don't kiss no one's behind. That's one thing. You ask anybody that met me on the internet. You can ask them if they come in the chat. They'll tell you, I don't kiss no one's behind. I'm fair and square, just like they are. At the end of the day, I don't kiss no one's behind. You have heard many accounts. What I am on the internet is who I am in real time. I don't play. Now, I may go through my economic troubles, and the reason for that is because I know how the economic ecosystem is. So, of course, they're going to make it harder for me. Of course, they're going to assumingly make it difficult for me to make myself look discredited. To say to the world, this man ain't got credit. He lying. If he was so good, why he ain't successful? It's because I'm not playing their game. And you know what they're afraid of? You young men picking up on the information why you think they don't allow my channel to grow? They want me to talk about things that will not make men aware. And everything I do is awareness. Everything I do is awareness. Pure Butterfly, thank you for the $4.99. I appreciate it. I appreciate the early super chat on my B-Day. Appreciate it. So my thing is this. It's not really discriminating for the most part, Pure. What you got to understand is this. Companies don't want wisdom. You know that better than anybody. You've been around many people. You've been around people with serious paper. You've been around people that make shakers and moves, right? We had that conversation recently on my panel. So my thing is this. They don't want the young people to catch on. You know that. Our duty is to tell them the truth. Our duty is to tell them the truth. And see, we don't want to, we cannot be in competition with the young folks. The young folks is the future. We cannot put them in a pitch. These companies are not to be trusted with the people that's coming up. These people need a better development. This is why I always say, you young guys, get on the app. Do it part-time. Do it part-time. Because, when I do my thing in Florida, right? I see people in their 50s. I see people in their 60s. No cap. Dashing. I see 50-year-olds and 60-year-old men and ladies. Of course, they take care of themselves. Elderly. Y'all would consider them elderly. I don't consider them elderly. I see people in their quote unquote 50s and 60s, men and women, husband and wife, dashing. We're talking about 6, 7 hours. They speak to me, I speak to them. I say, yeah, I'm a 44. They say, that's you smart. It's nothing wrong being in the site, young man. Have your own business. Get your own business. Teach the young men that it's nothing wrong being on the site. Have something else to depend so you don't have to depend on their checks. Yeah, exactly, Pierre, because they know where the money is at. They know where the money is at. And they want to keep the young people in these sites and these companies and make them not have anything about 40. We as a people in this country, yes, I will open up the panel. We as a people in this country have to tell the young men and the young ladies the truth. Like, do not expend your whole body. And by the time you reach 40, you're still figuring out how to become successful, how to become a millionaire. Be the first one in your family to become a millionaire. They pushing away people to be very successful. Young men, young ladies. That's why they're going into the skit community. The reason why they're going into the skit community is because these places that they at is not doing enough for them. They're very energetic. They're very highly intellect. There's a lot of young, highly intellectual men and ladies, and they're being stirred in the wrong direction. The sites is not helping the young people. You know it's not helping us to an extent. We're doing it because we got to pay this, we got to pay that. And their mindset is totally different than our mindset. Every generation is different. And so without further ado, I'm going to open up the panel. I'm going to let Pierre on. We might get somebody else to come on too. Who knows? All right. So I'm going to continue to talk about this 40 thing. I want to hear what she has to say. So let me put the link in the chat. And to those who send in cash apps, just know I will shout you out on my B-Day, okay? If you send something to the cash app, I will shout you out for my B-Day, which is officially on Monday, December 18th, 2023, okay? All right. So the link is in the chat. Let's see who comes on. Let me get this bad brand thing ready because, you know, I don't need no unexpected surprises. Hold on 1 second. I know that's pure, but I want to make sure I got this photo ready. All right. Let's see. Yep, that's her. All right. How you doing, Pure?
Hey, Rollo, how you doing? Happy early birthday.
I'm doing great.
I hope you have a really good birthday. Nobody wants to be depressed on their birthday, I'm going to be honest. It doesn't start a good year when you're depressed on your birthday.
Right. Absolutely. I appreciate that. I'm all ears. Go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is because I'm teaching, I don't really put it out there that much. And one of the teachers came in and broke it down, and he is in his he's close to being in his 60s. And he was telling the students that they need to, because for one, if they're 1099 doing whatever cosmetology or whatever the case may be, the government takes a higher tax amount from you as a self-employed worker, right? So being 1099, they take 1/3. They take like a lawyer would do on a
40%. Yeah.
They're taking at least 1/3 of what you make.
Right.
Okay. For the government, the taxes are. And so he was telling them that, you know, yeah, you can make $2,000, $3,000 a day. It's possible you're a hustle if you hustle, right? Which is a fact.
Right.
He was saying that he made the mistake of not putting a 401k away for himself and his wife, and that he didn't think about it until he got older. Well, he did put I forget. He did put a 401k away, but his daughter was going to college and they took the money out for her college, right? And he said
Okay.
now he's playing catch up. Now he's playing catch up to put the money back for his own retirement. And his wife was also in the same field, but then she went into the school district and now she works for the school district. And now she has the 401k and she's building it back up for the two of them,
Can
right?
I say something? Can I say something? What they're telling to see from what you're saying is they didn't necessarily have to put their children into school if they knew how to run a business. That's another thing that I want to talk to the older people about respectfully. You know how the economy is. You don't have to put your children in school to be successful. They didn't have
I
to
mean,
do that. They chose to do that. That's not. I mean, but it is what it is. You don't need college now. And this damn time, if you know how to invest in stocks and bonds, if you put the effort into it, that's of course you have to put the effort into it. Shout out to the people that's younger than me that's doing it because they're doing pretty good in
well,
the stock and bonds.
trade schools though, you have to go to a trade school. I don't care if you're a welder. I don't care if you're an electrician. I don't care if you're cosmetology. I
Yeah,
don't
you can
care
go
what
to
that
a
is
trade
because you
school.
have
But
to be
hold on,
licensed.
let me finish,
Mhm.
Bill. Let me finish. I get what you're saying. Let me
Yeah.
finish. You're right about that. What I'm saying is you don't need to go to schools to become an accountant, to do management, to do certain things. You can learn that from your own parents or somebody that's older than you that can teach you the ropes. Like I tell the young men, I say, listen, there's nothing wrong going to the site. If you want to have extra income, get on the 1099. Yes, you're going to pay a little bit of taxes. That's okay because you're going to get the money off top. You don't want to be in 40s doing the same thing you're doing in your 20s and 30s because you're not going to see the same inflexibility. You get what I'm saying? It's time.
Well,
It's time to make them know that don't depend on the government assistance in the future. While
no, but
it's
the
out there,
1099,
hold
the
on, hold on, hold
1099.
on, hold on, hold on. While it's out there for people, I don't want you to be in your 40s and 50s. Keep on doing the same thing you're doing in your 20s and 30s. That's not progress. We gotta progress. We talk about other countries, but we're not progressing as a people here in the States, especially if you're in your 40s and 50s and not getting it right.
Mhm.
We have to be honest because it's not fair to them. We had older people taught us certain things. They didn't teach us the economics like they were supposed to. They kept it to themselves.
I'm gonna be honest that my dad's generation, it was much easier to build something than it is for our generation and the newer generations coming in. I don't know what they
Mhm.
did that was so spectacular, but their type of economy, even though they didn't get paid a lot of money, was the type of economy that they could have a property paid off by the time they were 50, or buy other properties and things like that. This generation is extremely difficult in the time of corporations getting together and swooping up properties and things like that than it was for our father's generation. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And
Right,
this
right.
newer generation coming in is finding it even more and more difficult when it comes to housing security. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah. Which is why, like Big J, you got my brother Newbury, you got Pastor Dow. The land is the way to go because you don't have to be paying other people this amount a month and this state amount a month. Like it doesn't make sense that
But this is the
you
thing, because
working
a lot
and
of
it's
those
going back
rural,
to that.
I know, but a lot of those rural places, unless you know how to make money off of your land, you're going to have to be somewhere where you can make a substantial amount of money to buy
Absolutely,
that type of land.
absolutely, absolutely, and that's true, and that's definitely true. I would love. I'll be honest with you. I would love Big J if he ever does it if you get him to do it, to talk about what's the process of him, what's the responsibility of running a land.
I mean,
You
I
know,
know
because
that this was, I talked to him.
I know he got certain people working for him, but yeah, go ahead, my fault.
I talk to him all the time, and he doesn't like to talk about his personal life. So I know what he does. I know things he does. But listen, people
No,
think
I'm
Big
saying
J.
teaching, not about his personal life. Like, how did he go about it? Because
Yeah,
he's young. He's young. It'll be inspirational. I can talk about. I do it myself. We talk about certain
no,
content creators and all that, but it will be good to hear because he's young.
people think he stays
You'd be
on
surprised how
online
many people will
for
listen
a
to
long.
that.
They think he stays online for a long time, but Big J actually works a job on Graveyard, like a night job. Besides his land that he lives on, and that he has, his cows and things like that. He also has an actual job. And at one time, he had another job on top of that job. So
Mhm.
besides his land and the two jobs, you know what I'm saying? So he doesn't really talk about stuff like that, because people think they have a certain type of image about him, but they don't really know his life. Do you know
No,
what I
I
mean?
listen to Big J. Well, I listen to Big J more because he got connected to certain political affiliates.
Hmm.
He's very intelligent. Now
He's
he
very
does
intelligent.
there's certain things I don't have to agree with. He don't have to agree with me.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
agree with
respect
him
him enough.
beefing with dudes all day long. There's no
Yeah,
point in that. He wants them to be a certain way, and I'm like, BJ, you're not going to make people be what you think they're going to be. Just live your
yeah,
life.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
But he's very smart.
Yeah.
He
He
when it
knows his
comes to
stuff.
historical information, political information, nobody's got him beat.
Hmm.
Nobody knows what he knows. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
try to get him to. He won't. I even told him to like videotape some of the things that he does, and he was like, "Nope, he doesn't share that stuff."
Yeah. Yeah. So Carter says that at this point, learn and master a skill, then learn how to monetize it. And by the time you're 18, you already got your own profitable business. Exactly. And there's a lot of young
I don't know
teenagers
what
that's
these
doing that.
ladies are gonna do that do what is called OnlyFans. I don't
Well,
know what they're gonna.
let's say OF, yeah. OF,
Okay,
yeah.
this OF. I don't know what they're gonna do, because when they become older, right? Because everybody gets
Mhm.
older. They're not going to be marketable. I hate to say it, but it is the truth. Do I believe in the red pill hit the wall type thing? No. However, when your beauty fades and you're not going to be able to do that type of job. So if they are not putting money away for a 401k and or retirement, while they are making all that money, they are going to find a rude awakening when they become older. Okay. Lucky for me, I didn't do that kind of stuff. I had an actual profession, and my profession can go into all kinds of different avenues, right? However, that profession of living off of your body and your looks,
Mhm.
you it's going to end. It's going to end. Like when they become 35, 40, that's going to be a wrap for them. And then what? What do they have? This is why.
They have nothing to show for it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't say that to be like I'm holding a grudge or anything like that. I'm saying that to be truthful, because I know what that is. Do you know what I mean? And like we were like the one teacher was talking to the students and saying, listen, start putting money away. One thing about it is they don't know, and this is what gets them into tax problems, is they don't know that they need to have a business bank account where they set money aside, 1/3 of what they make, because they have to pay their taxes every 3 months through the year. And that 3 months is a chunk of change. And it's not like working for somebody where they pay portions of your taxes, and then you have you have the taxes that you pay. I have a chunk coming out for my taxes, right? But
Yeah.
not as much in taxes as I would have coming out if I was 1099. And I don't think a lot of people that work for themselves understand that it's a higher tax bracket to be working for yourself.
And it's a good thing in the long run because it's going to teach you discipline. Let's keep it real, Pure. Honestly, respectfully. Companies don't expect you to be disciplined. Let me say this to y'all, young men and young ladies. Companies don't expect you to be disciplined. They expect you to spurge. That's why they keep you at a certain time. Now, when you over 40, they know you're going to be a little bit more responsible if you know what you're doing. And hopefully, they don't want you to be responsible.
Depends on the person, Rollo. Hopefully, but it depends on the person. We know people in our 40s and 50s are not responsible. Come on.
That's true. That's why they keep them around. Phil, name a company that's going to keep somebody around that knows what's going on. Name me a company. If you know the ins and outs,
depending on the company, some companies value.
Let me finish this. And think about it. If I go into a business and you say, "Hey, Rollo, welcome to such and such," and I'm going to look at you, I'm going to say, "Hey, look, thank you for having me. What do you like about the business?" I'm going to flip the same question on you. Not too many people going to do that with confidence, because once they see that you know about the situation before they ask the questions, the preliminary questions, and you ask them and flip it to them, that's going to make them think, I want to know if this person is okay with where they at before I sign that dollar line, because you're the first person I saw. So if I see you not confident in what you're doing, I'm going to say the company ain't confident of what I'm going to do. So I'm going to walk away. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I do. So I'm telling the young men and young ladies that, yeah, get your money, but don't stay in a place that you know that's going to fall apart. Now, I'm not going to say no company names, but there's places that I was dealing with, and I did the same thing that I just said now, and they're about to run out of business.
Yeah.
And I got a call. They was like, "Yo, Rollo, you was right. You said it. You said they was going to run out of business. They closed them down." I said, because I saw the handwriting on the wall. That's that experience kicking in. And a lot of people are signing up for something they're not aware of. They don't do background check on these companies. That's like getting in a relationship with someone. You ladies go do background checks on us. I tell men to do background checks on you too. See what type of friends they have. They try to see what type of friends you have. They try to see what type of things you're doing. See if she about her business.
I'm in a different frame of mind than you are, Rollo. I'm really not into. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not focused on men. I'm just absolutely not.
No. I'm just saying an example. I'm saying as an example. I'm not saying you are. I'm not focused on getting a relationship either right now.
If I felt my fancy that like there was somebody that like was suited for me, yeah, I'd probably do the check. But just random checks, nah. I'm not that deep into random men.
I'm not saying for you to be into that. Listen to what I'm saying. If you get, it's like any company I deal with, they do a background check on me, right?
Yeah, they do.
So I'm doing a background check on them. I don't know them. They don't know me. But they know me more because they got, before I even get there, they already know who I am, who I'm dealing with. So why not do the same thing? I'm not saying that I'm going out there just randomly checking every woman or every man.
When you work a job, you're supposed to. When you work a job, you're really supposed to find out what type of job or corporation you're working for. So you want to do some kind of check on them. You want to make sure that they live by a philosophy that they obey. You know what I mean? That they're not bullshitting people, because there's a lot of people that own these or create businesses, and they make these very flabbergasted type of statements about, what they offer. And then when you get in there, there's nothing there that they offer you that's factual. Okay.
Right. At least with the 1099, okay, I got to put certain things to the side. I got to be a little bit more disciplined. It might be some ups and downs. Mm-hmm. Some days I may make some money, like you say. Some days I may not make some money. So you know what you're getting yourself into. These companies put a one game on everybody. Yeah, we're going to give you this. You're going to be happy here. And then within a month, you're like, oh my goodness, I wasted my time in this place.
Yeah, because one job I took was a year ago.
Mhm.
They lied about everything, and within 3 days I quit. Right? These
Mm.
people had the nerve to charge me for my tools to work with that I tried to turn into
Wow.
them and they would not take, and then they put it on my credit. So now I'm in the process where I had to take that off my credit. They put a ding on my credit.
Wow. See what I tell y'all? See what I tell y'all?
So
Say that
now
again, Bill. Say that again. I
they
just
put a
talked about
ding
that.
on I was there for 3 days because I found out that everything they were talking about was a big bold-faced lie. And so I didn't stay there. Okay. And when I tried to return, all the things that I was going to be educating people with, they tried to charge me for it. And they did charge me for it. And they put that on my credit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you gotta be careful.
You gotta be mindful because they mess with your credit. This is why I said they when they know you know too much, they're gonna mess with your credit. They're gonna try to mess with your economics. Y'all think I'll be
I mean,
joking when I'm saying about
well,
this?
I'm going to have it taken off because I'm going to go to a lawyer and I'm going to give the proof of all my proof that I was employed by them and this and this and this. And
Right.
when I tried to return all of their equipment, that they gave me this cheap old computer,
Uh huh.
and like one of those type of computers you pay like $100 for. These people
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yep.
try to charge me like $2,000, okay, and put it on my credit. So now
Yep.
I'm going to have to get a lawyer, and I'm going to have the lawyer take it off my credit and then fight them. And it's possible I might be countersuing them. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's why I'm working on with this contract that I have with these people. Yep.
Yes, I
They
have the
won't pay
same
me.
thing. The same
Yep.
thing happened, Rollo. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yep. 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 I walked
So
away after 2 days.
yeah, so I put a bad review for them as well,
Yep.
and I wasn't the only one. They have a ton of bad reviews. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But I was told through a grapevine that if you do private reviews, that they pay attention to that. The higher ups, they don't look at the public reviews. It's like you go to these restaurants, right, and you get
Mhm.
something and you ain't like it, you put a bad review. People don't really pay attention to that. It's when they do the private, that's when they pay attention. I forget what the
So
name is called, but
when I get the lawyer to sue them, which is what's going to probably end up happening in order to get it off my
right,
credit, um, then once I do that, because they knocked me down, and I just noticed that and I didn't know they had did it. They knocked my credit points down almost 19% or 19
right.
points. I was at 803 on my credit, and they knocked me down, and I'm like, nah. So now I have to get a lawyer, and I have to fight them, pay for a lawyer, and do all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah. You see, people. This is very important conversation. Y'all make sure y'all share this video. You might be saving somebody. You have a lady's perspective. You have a man's perspective, and these are the conversations I love having. I talk about the skit community, and I will continue to do that because I want you to be aware of them.
Well, to me,
Yeah,
I feel like that was a skit. I feel like when you
yeah,
false advertise about your employment
yeah.
and you do this and you do that, to me, in my mind, that's a skit.
It is. Yeah, 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 yeah. And you got to tell people that, look, man, we want you to do well. We want you young people to do well.
Yeah, I mean, I tell that to my
We've been
students
through a
all the
lot.
time.
Yeah, we've been through a lot. So, because you have a lot of people disappointed in the 40s and up, and you have your rights to be disappointed in us to an extent, because you was told that everything is going to be good, and that's not true. We
Well,
we supposed to be
they
we supposed to be
didn't
doing other
expect me.
things.
They did not expect me to be there for 3 days and then quit.
Right, right, right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Y'all gotta be confident in yourself and what you love to do. It's nothing wrong walking away from something that you thought was on point, and that's why I'm glad you're saying it. So y'all can't say two witnesses is better than one according to the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's saying it, and she's in her young 50s, and I'm in my young 40s, we're telling y'all, man, this stuff is real. Do not let them play you because it can mess up your credit. It can mess up other opportunities of business, establishments. Your name is your credit, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk. Your name is your credit. Your birth certificate is your financial funds that they use to circulate to keep the country going. So at the end of the day, your name is your credit, y'all.
Yeah, when I went to go turn back in their computer and their books, they wouldn't see me.
Mm-hmm.
I got a chance to talk to the head of the that school, and she was like, well, just stick it out because I had met her with her on that Friday and told her, like, this is my last day because I don't like, I don't like how you're running the school. You know what I mean?
Right.
And she said, please just think about it over the weekend. Well, over the weekend, I thought about it. I prayed about it. And God told me to leave that school. So that Monday I came back in to return everything, and they would not take that. They wouldn't take the stuff back. And now I know why. Because they wanted to charge me for it. And then they wanted to charge me as if they were teaching me. And I was like, no. So now I literally have to get a lawyer and fight them.
Yeah.
Fortunately. But I feel like
yeah, my fault. Go ahead.
No, I feel like I'd rather pay the lawyer what they're trying to charge me on basic principle than what they did, because it's the principle of the fact, right?
Right.
And that's how I feel about it.
Running up 360 said, yep, companies. Oh, my fault. Yep, companies will charge you for travel and take a long time to pay back. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. That happened to me many times. Mm-hmm. What's up, JP? Appreciate you sharing the video.
Yeah, it's crazy how they do.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. So, what would you tell people to be, you was in your 40s, right? And I'm my late 40s right now, about to be 45 Monday. What would you tell people in this day of time, the people in their 20s and 30s, how to go about business that you've seen differently now than when you was in your 20s and 30s?
What I would say now, well, see, when I was raising my kids, I didn't really put money away for retirement. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I was trying to raise my kids, so I needed my money. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
But I would tell them that even if they put $25 a week or $50 a week away, they would have a chunk of money. And it's not that they have to have a 401k. They can invest on their own. They can find a actual financial advisor to invest in some very secure investments, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go for investments that are iffy, that there's a possibility where you can make a real big chunk of change, and then there's a real big possibility you can lose everything. I would never do an investment like that. I would tell them to do a more secured investment. But I would just tell them to do more of an investment from the ages of 20 on up. Because from 20, if you're investing or putting away at least $25 a week, just imagine how much money you have by the time you get 50.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm trying to say? So
right.
I would tell everybody that is doing the business that I'm in is to put money away. Get together. I would have them get together, start their own little type of union in a way, and find a insurance company to insure them for a cheaper price, because they've gotten so many people under the belt of that insurance policy. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes, absolutely. I would say this from experience in my 20s and 30s, because I ran a business in my early 40s. I would tell you guys, if you wanted to take it to the next level, get your LLC and, put
Oh,
money into your LLC.
that's without being said. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
You need to have an LLC. You need to have something that is separate from your actual. Look what happened to Tanya TKO. Did you see what happened to her several years ago?
I met her in person.
Yeah, Tanya TKO had her stuff, her business wound with her personal bank account. So when her business got sold, somehow the IRS was like, okay, well, we're taking everything you got. Never,
Wow.
never combine your 1099 business with your personal bank account.
Personal bank account, yeah.
Always have your business bank account separate from your personal money. That's another big mistake.
I've been saying that. I've been telling them that.
Have that bank account be under your LLC where you pay yourself from that LLC, because if you don't do that and the IRS comes in, they will seize every personal thing you own.
Yep. That's why I separate. Like, I got my 1099 separated account from my actual business of my other bank account. And I tell these guys and ladies, look, have you 3 accounts, at least 3 to start. Why do that? Because if something happens to that one account, you have another account. This is what people with business do. Some of them have multiple accounts.
And also I would say, don't wait till the end of the year to pay all your taxes in one lump sum, because it's going to throw you for a loop to pay on a 1099 at the end of the year. I would also say pay every 3 months to the IRS. I would have an accountant pay every 3 months to the IRS, because that's going to save your butt at the end of the year, because you don't want to have that full amount to owe the IRS.
Yep, just set up an account with them. Yep, set up an account with the IRS.
If you're paying auto pay every 3 months, the IRS is more or less likely to look at you than if you do a yearly accounting and pay them at the end of the year. They're gonna be like, okay, well, they're gonna try to break down everything you do for itemization. Whereas if you do every 3 months, they know you're on the ball every 3 months, and you have your itemized taxes that you pay, because all your receipts and everything you pay for your business.
And another thing is, you can get more for your buck doing that, because instead of you paying 30-40%, you might pay 10%, and you could have more assets. That's how these people stay rich. That's how they stay rich.
No, Rollo, you're still gonna pay that 30 and 40%. Trust me. When you're 1099, they feel the IRS, the government feels like you are privileged to work for yourself. However, so they're gonna make you pay that 30%.
When you say that, you have me rolling.
It's true, because they're making you feel like you're privileged to work for yourself, when back in the day everybody usually worked for themselves. You know what I mean? So basically, they're taxing you higher. Say it again.
It's the same thing with YouTube, Pure Butterfly. I'm gonna say this to all to the content creators: they have to pay 30-40% too.
Yeah, because you're 1099. You know why? Because you're 1099. You're a 1099. You're self-employed.
Even the TV channels, in order for them to stay on, they got to pay that 1099 too. All these Netflix and these shows y'all be watching, that's not free. Well, Rollo, YouTube is not free. That's the gimmick. That's a trap. It's not free. Because if it was free,
it's not free.
Then why you gotta pay for it? Why you gotta pay for your phone bill, huh? You gotta pay for your phone bill to keep it on.
When they throw 1 million commercials in your video, they're making money.
Mad money. We ain't getting that much for it. We get by a penny for it. They getting.
Well, that's why a lot of big YouTube channels have gotten to where what they do is they advertise for companies on their own. So if the company comes to them and say, listen, I'll pay you this instead of paying YouTube, they pay that person to advertise from their own mouth certain
Yeah,
products.
certain products. That's what's keeping certain YouTubers on.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
because it's not the YouTube money anymore. It's that they're
yep,
able to use their platform to have advertisers that want to advertise, like AG1. AG1 has touched every single one of these really big channel owners that have millions or hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers. They are
yep,
paying them to be word of mouth for their business.
yep.
So a lot of these companies are now reaching out to the actual channel owners to
Yes, they
have
are.
to have the channel owner speak on their behalf for their product, to sell their product, and they pay that channel owner a kickback.
Serious kickback. Yep, and you got to make sure you put 15% of it away so that the IRS don't be on your behind. But it's
Oh,
worth it though.
even everything you make from the private businesses where you're representing the business, you have to put it's all part of your business. You itemize it and you have to pay the tax.
Automatic. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But in the long call, it's going to teach you how to discipline. This is the thing. We don't want to be honest. Americans is not as disciplined as they used to be, for the
No,
most part.
Americans want instant gratification and then forget what they are going to get old. Okay, they
Yeah.
forget they're going to get old and they're going to need that damn money. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's the trick. That's why it says the dream of a nightmare if you ain't careful.
Oh yeah, big time.
You're gonna be looking at everybody passing you by. Like that song Paradise, she keep passing me by.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're gonna keep passing you by if you don't get your stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
Mother Nature gonna pass you by and put you in the whirlwind shoot.
My dad worked at the test site, and my dad would save every penny my dad was super frugal, okay? And my
What a
dad was,
minimalism? He was a minimalism, right?
oh my God, was he ever? Like
Mm-hmm.
he would, if something broke, he wouldn't go buy something new to fix it. He would take a little miniature part and fix it with a miniature part and keep it going. You know what I mean? He would try to
Mm-hmm.
fix something with a 5 cent or a 10-cent part instead of buying a brand new whatever.
Yep.
He was that kind of guy. He was very when you talk about minimalist, he would go to the hardware store and buy whatever it was, and he would have parts in his shed, and he would just break another part down to make another part. He was that type of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he saved a lot of money, and he made a lot of money because he was a foreman at the test site. But he didn't care because he didn't spend any money. My dad had bought a truck when he retired, and that truck when he retired was a truck he had when he died.
Mm-hmm.
So he had it for 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad was extremely minimalist. My mom was absolutely not minimalist. My mom would buy. Matter of fact, my dad had to keep the bank account away from her because she would dig in there and spend what she wanted. My mom was that type. If she saw it, she bought it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my dad would have to. And then they got divorced, of course. But after 29 years of marriage, they got divorced. And then my dad had to pay her. Like at that time, it was like 80,000. He had to mortgage the house. The house was paid for, and then he worked and he rebought his house back with that 80,000 that he paid my mom in divorce, and he he got it free and clear again back out, and he started saving money again. That's how my dad was. That's just the type of guy my dad was.
would you consider ladies being pre-minimalism, meaning they only do it when things get rough? Because ladies
I
don't
think it's,
believe in
I,
saving
I,
that much.
I think that, well, men don't either. I think it depends on the man and the woman because there's men out there that they got to keep up with the Joneses. Okay.
They
They have
want to
to
be
buy the
prima
newest
donna.
car.
Yeah, yeah,
They have
prima
to have,
donna. Yeah.
they have to have the newest everything. Right. I'm kind of in the middle, I guess, because of my dad and my mom. So I do like nice things. Don't get me wrong on the side of my mom. However, I keep my nice things for about 20 years. I don't keep buying brand new. Do you know what I'm saying? So like I will spend the money for really nice
Mhm.
furniture. I will spend the money to make my house look nice, but I will also keep that furniture for about 20 years usually. You know what I mean? Like I've had furniture for like 15 years. Seriously. Like I have oak tables, solid oak tables downstairs. And do you think I'm going to get rid of them because they're out of style? No,
Yeah.
I'm not. They're solid
So,
oak.
so let me ask you this.
I bought them.
Yeah.
Nobody even makes furniture like that anymore, right? I bought
Right.
them when my kids were like 3 years old, and I still have them in my TV living room. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know the antique stuff. I call it antique. Yeah. So let me ask you this question. That's a good point because I was saying that a lot of ladies, when they get to their 40s and 50s, they make it more business moves and they save it more than most men in my age bracket. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, nothing lasts forever. So if you don't get it right now, you ain't gonna ever get it right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that's playing around, and that's the people they keep around the most because they know that they have not woken up to the real world. And the
Hmm.
real world is you better not let them take advantage of you because if you let them take advantage of you, that's on you. Because by the time you waiting for that quote unquote retirement, it's not actual retirement. It's still you still paying these people even though you're not working for them no more. You're paying the company back in a sense to keep them afloat. You're paying the government to keep them afloat. You paying a policeman, a policewoman, military. So instead of you getting your full 100% on your Social Security, you actually technically only get 30% of
Yeah.
what you make for that time at that company. And that's real talk here. So a lot of places cannot afford your after lifestyle. This is why it's important to have your own thing to the side, your emergency to the side. So when you get to your 50s and 60s,
I would
you want to do the
definitely,
things you didn't do.
if you have a job that has 401k, actually put into the 401k, right? I would do all that, right? But I also would have a bank, like a savings or whatever, and I would start saving. Like I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to build back my from the pandemic. I'm starting to build back my savings account. So now I'm trying to take each paycheck and put about $200 or $300 back into my savings every paycheck because I took
Mhm.
a chunk out from that pandemic. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
To
Yeah.
live. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to now get my money back in there.
Now let me ask you this. Most people came out on the bad end of the stick. Some people did not make it, of course, they're not here with us. Then you got those who got it more worse economically. And I think it has a lot to do with discipline. Like for me, I did pretty good. Now, did I make some good investments? Yes. The people I try to put on, was it my fault? Yes, absolutely. That's something I learned. And let me tell you guys something. When you start seeing some serious money, it's hard. It could be difficult. You don't want to be too judgmental. You don't want to be um, saying because one person did it, everybody. You have to give people a chance. Because one thing I learned about this business is it's very risky. It's risky being on here. It's risky being on here on this YouTube. Y'all think it's easy. It is not easy. because you got to get certain people to watch you. The average duration, it's not easy to keep people engaged in
Do you know why
conversation.
I don't try to monetize my channels, Rollo?
Hmm.
Because I'm a free spirit unto my divine creator, meaning I don't want to bow down to other people watching my content in order to make a living.
I agree
Because
with that. I agree with that. I agree
you
with
get
that.
what
Yeah,
I'm trying
I
to, you
agree.
get what I'm trying to say with that?
No, no,
Like
I know what you're saying.
if I had to try to make money off my channel and I had to bow onto what people are asking me to produce, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to put on my channel what I want when I want. Whether you watch it or you don't watch it, I don't care. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you have to make money on your channel, you're basically bowing to what people want to see.
Now let me say this though. If it's something that you love to do, I don't have. If somebody was to say, because people do send me stuff, right? I don't have no issue with that. Let me finish. I don't have no issue of people sending me stuff that that's something that I said and I could break it down, because whether I get paid or not is it's more important the message. I get what you're saying. I don't kiss nobody's behind, by the way. Do I have to do business with people on here? Absolutely, because you want to do business with people that's thinking like you, like
Yeah.
me and you. This is a great combination. We may not see eye to eye on a lot of things, but
Oh,
this
we
will be good.
don't. We
But
don't, but we.
we don't. But it's working. Look how it works. We got many people engaged.
Hmm.
So sometimes they say opposite of what people believe in can help benefit for both sides.
Yeah, because even if it's not, you don't see eye to eye on spiritual things or things like that, you definitely can see eye to eye on what's real, what's in this world, and what we're dealing with. It's kind of hard to disagree with each other when we already know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? This is
Mhm.
the kind of world we're living in. This is what we're dealing with. This is how we're trying to survive in this particular world. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Divinely Artist, my twin brother, birthday December 18th. We're not the same age, but shout out to Divinely Artist in the house.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, his birthday's the 18th too.
Yeah, mine's coming up too.
When is it? The late
I don't want to
December?
say. Uh-uh.
What are you being secretive for?
Because there's too many weirdos on YouTube that spy in the cut trying to find information.
Oh, you got some people that's trying to get up with you on that. Oh yeah, I get you.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay,
It's
I
not that
got
it's a
you.
secret. It's not really a secret, but I'm just saying I don't. Yeah, I've had some people. We were talking about it on Miss Sunkiss channel where I had a dude that was stalking my channel. Dude went through over 1,000 of my videos to find information on me. He went through 1,000 videos to try to go to his channel and use my content. He went through the 1,000 videos to find my kids on my channel, and then I had to private all those videos because he was using the content.
Yeah, that we call them monitoring spirits over here. Yep.
So because of that, I've learned to keep a lot of things more private, because when I had my kids on my, like cuts of my kids on my channels and I made videos, they were adults, of course, yes. But they were doing they were how like before TikTok was TikTok, they were doing these type TikTok things. And he found all that stuff, and I don't like people using my children. I'm gonna be honest with you. It does
Right.
piss me off.
That's not a
Completely.
yeah. That's
I don't
absolutely
like them to use my kids, because that's gonna make me want to come hunt you down. That's what that makes me do.
absolutely
Do you know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So I had to put
No,
them on
absolutely.
private.
Right.
It's why
Absolutely.
I don't put my grandbabies on social media at all, ever, anywhere.
Mhm.
And like he's like, you're lucky you don't put your grandbabies on, because I'd use your grandbabies pictures. I said, dude, you would be in a 6-foot grave if you started doing that. So don't play with me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. No, yep. They think everything's a joke. Let
And
me read this.
his little sidekick woman was like, I'm coming to your house, Pierre, and I'm going to kill your grandbaby. I said, girl, when you get here, I will have my nephew, who's a cop, come pick you up at the sidewalk in front of my door. Don't worry. Come show up and see what happens.
Absolutely. That's right. Now, Carter put a great point. He says many men in the book did business with people of different beliefs. We just have to have a mutual respect and boundary. That's right. That is in the book of the Bible. Yes. We did
Yeah.
business with different people. Yep.
Well, I mean, you have to. I mean, they had the Silk Road back then. I mean, there was a lot of things going on when people were Hebrew Israelites back in the day. You know what I mean? So they did trade. They traded all the way from China down to the Middle East. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
In Africa and everything. One of the biggest things for trade was salt. Did you know that? Salt was a
Yes,
commodity like
absolutely.
gold.
Yep.
Yeah.
You cannot, if you don't do no earthly goods. See, this is the thing. I know a person that's it personally, right? In New York and moved to Florida. That person put me onto a lot of interesting business. I don't have to agree with his lifestyle, yet business wise, he know his stuff. So,
Yeah.
you know, Lot did business with Sodom and Gomorrah. We know what type of people Sodom and Gomorrah was, but he was the mayor of Sodom and Gomorrah. He helped them.
I mean, if
fight
you
off
get
the
technical,
military.
we actually are living in a repeat of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what we have right now.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
Because when people talk about, when they talk about sexual activities that are so foul, that are not even sexual, it's so disgusting, the things that come out of people's mouth right now. I'm like women talking about certain things, and I'm like, this is Sodom and Gomorrah. This is, I mean, when women are talking about doing, I don't even want to say, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Okay. When it talks to the FECES type of thing, no, that's disgusting. And those are disgusting practices. That's not even sexual. That's not even, it's not emotional. It's not sensual. It's not none of those things. You know what I'm saying? So
you're not, you got to remember, guys, they're in charge of the currency, because in the book of Job, it said the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. So they have the currency. They're in charge of the currency. So you have to maneuver around them. You don't have to do their lifestyle. Yet if they have something you need, you're going to have to do business with them. And another thing with the industry that a lot of people don't know, you don't need to go in the industry to be successful on the internet. The industry is on the internet, y'all. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Well, let me just say this.
YouTubers.
When you think about affiliation or movies like the oh my God, why can't I think of it? The Matrix, right?
Yeah.
So the whole theme of the Matrix movie was evil and godship, right?
Right.
Okay. So if we're talking about that, if both forces can use the internet, you know that the divine creator is using it as well. So when I tell people that, when I find things and they're like, how did you find that? And I say, I found it through my angels.
Right.
So it's not that I found it, it's that my angels led me to whatever that information was. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just as much as dark forces, or I don't even want to say dark forces, because the whole thought of darkness is not an evil thing. It's a man-made conception to make it evil, because in the beginning there was pure darkness and the divine creator was in that darkness. So I don't think, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know what you get. I know what you get at. Yeah.
So for me to sit and say it's a dark forces makes it no, because even it says Satan was an angel of light, came as an angel of light. So I don't even want to personally say darkness is evil, because it's absolutely not, right? But there's
we grew. Hold on a bit to piggyback. We grew in the womb of the dark to come into the light of the world.
Yes, most definitely.
The womb is dark, guys. The woman's womb is dark. You go through the transition of the dark of her womb through the man's seed.
You're coming from the spirit world into the physical realm through that.
Right.
So
Yeah, the
personally,
spiritual world is dark. Yeah, the spiritual world is dark. Yeah.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
want to say, so I don't want to say that darkness does this, but I will say in this realm that mimics the God divine,
Mhm.
this realm, things like the dark web, which is something evil, right? Where things that is what's the word I'm trying to look for?
Do you understand this is the lowest part of hell? This is part of hell, this earth? Because
Yeah.
as the earth was in heaven,
Well,
this
no,
is not.
I don't consider this earth hell. I think we made it hell. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, that's true. I'll leave it at that. Go ahead.
Okay, so I feel like I'm looking in my mind, I'm trying to find the words to say, but I'm seeing these creepy crawly things when it comes to the dark web where they're seedy, they're deceitful, they're vengeful, they're everything against the divine's purpose. Like you don't
Yeah,
in the
the fallen
divine's
ones. I
purpose.
call them the fallen ones. The fallen
Yeah,
ones children.
yes, that's all in the dark web. So when I say that because the divine is not about you harming children, like sexually harming children or beating or you know what I'm saying, any kind of harm for children, because that's not the divine. Okay, the divine
Right.
doesn't do that. You know what I mean? So but when in the dark web where people are putting and victimizing people on the dark web, they're actually snuffing people out and do all that stuff on the dark web. That is against the divine creator. And
Mhm.
so when I say darkness about that, it's a whole separate type of darkness, because the divine creator did come out of darkness, right?
Right.
That purposeful creator came out of darkness. However, this type of mimic God is a deceitful. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. There's so many things.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the opposite of the divine from the darkness, is what I'm trying to say, and what I'm trying to get at.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
So,
this has been a great live stream. I'm not gonna. This is good. It's getting better and better every time you come on. It gets better and better.
thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I feel like people just have to take care of themselves, and if they have to put money, there's a scripture that says, "Pay back Caesar's things to Caesar's, and God's things to God." So God
Right.
had, if the divine created everything in the beginning, right,
Hmm.
and everything belongs to the divine creator as is, right? The
Right.
divine creator never had use for money. The divine creator never had to put a president's face on a dollar bill, a $5 bill, a $20 bill, or whatever currency in whatever world. The divine never had to do that because everything belonged to the divine in the first place.
Right. This is the counterfeit from the Debo. Yeah, exactly. He's trying to be God. We know he's trying to play God.
So the divine creator doesn't want you paying back to the divine with monetary paper money that you're cutting down that divine's tree to print that money for that divine. No, the divine don't play that.
He wants to, the money that the currency he deals with is the silver and gold.
The currency the divine deals with is spiritual currency.
Right, that's it. That's spiritual currency. Yep, correct.
Because silver and gold is what the divine created, is the elements to make silver and gold, and people just manipulate that, and sub-gods create that, because the divine creator don't care nothing about that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because everything belongs to the divine as is.
At the same time, it's in the Bible that talks about money as defense. You got to have a defense against these principalities in high places, because
that's not because of the divine. That's because of disorder. That's because the fallen one.
I'm just saying what the book say. You right? Go ahead.
Because if everything was in divine order, there's no need for money. There's no need to go to work. There's no need to charge somebody to pay to live. There's no need for none of that, because that's all the divine's things in the first place.
Right. No, I'm getting what you say. I'm glad to see how we can have this conversation. Y'all, she's right. But what I'm saying, in this society, you got to have defense against these people.
because we're out of
Because
we're
they
out of
start,
order.
because,
We're in
right,
disorder and we're out of order. So
right.
yeah, we have to go to work. I have to go to work and make a certain type of living. I have to do this and I have to do that because that's the world we're living in right now.
Until we get at least till we get back into the right order, like you say, then we
Yeah.
don't have. Remember, also it's in the scripture it says instead of us being we be the lender, not the borrower. Somebody has to work for us in the kingdom.
Well, let
Because
me put that
go ahead,
lender and
go
borrow
ahead,
into perspective.
go ahead. I
So,
want to hear this.
if the divine creator owns every tree, every flower, every plant, every lemon, lime, orange, every fish you draw out of the ocean, everything belongs to the divine as is, right? So that lender, if we put it in lender borrower perspective, right?
Okay.
The lender gives, that particular lender gives freely. That lender created every plant and vegetation of the earth for us to consume, to be happy, to be
Right,
joyful.
right,
And that lender
right,
gave it freely to us for obeying and not taking things out of order and making things in disorder.
right,
Okay.
right.
So when
That,
we borrow, if we're in order, we plant back, we share, we take care of each other because that was the natural order of the divine from the first place.
right.
And we don't put other people into subjugation. And that's how we as
Absolutely.
borrowers give back to the lender.
Yes,
So, but
yes,
we are
absolutely.
in a form of chaos and disorder. So when we now lend and borrow in this system, it's money, a structure set up, and we have to pay interest in cash money that is set up in this realm. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's a whole nother ball game when it comes to lender borrower situation.
And that leads me to the next point because you pointed it out. That's why the Bible also says that none among you is supposed to live in poverty, meaning the condition.
Ever. Not
Yep,
anybody.
yep,
You are
yep.
not supposed to be paying. If they already know, if science already knows that you can do solar panels and stuff to get free energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if the divine had put it into structure where the sun shines on us, where we
Yep,
can have renewable energy, but yet we're paying for that.
yep,
Do you
yep,
see
yep,
the disorder in that?
That's a disorder. Yep, yep, yep. Preach, preach. Ooh, she on today. She on fire.
Oh, this is what I'm saying. Like we're in a very broken, disordered realm. We are right now. Can it go back? Because if you're talking about hell, we either make the earth a heaven or we make the earth a hell. If we are making the earth a heaven, we are in balance with the divine creator, the originator of all things, right?
Right,
And
right.
we're not abusing this earth. We don't have,
Uh-oh.
we're not doing the things that we're not supposed to be doing. So we're paying back to the lender in good deeds. We're paying back to the lender in keeping the earth pristine like it was meant to be. And we're paying back to
Right.
the lender all these different things. But right now we don't have that.
And that's why it's chaos. Woo-wee. You know, somebody was saying something important. He said
Hey,
something.
Doug.
Hey, what's up, V-Dub? He said something important that made a lot of sense. He said, look at the land, look at the countries. Let's look at Dubai for a second, right? He
Yeah.
mentioned Dubai is fertile. There's no poverty in Dubai, which is true. It's no poverty in Dubai. So what's happening is if like you said, the structure, if America's supposed to be for the people, by the people, and they believe in the book, which they don't believe in the book, they
No, they
go
don't.
opposite of the book. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this. Out of all places I've been to so far in America, Florida is one of the places that is prospering because not only the governor, it's the people who is the handle of the governor, which I don't know why he want to run for presidency because anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's the Lord's doing. I got it. Certain things you just gotta let the marbles may fall. What I would say,
Can
what
I
I
tell
would,
you the reason why you're seeing that there's prosperity now in Florida? Because at one time, when colonizers came and they landed in Florida,
uh-huh.
they destroyed Florida, right?
Yes, that's true.
They destroyed the water barriers and ecosystems and structures in Florida. Right
At that
now,
time, yeah.
it was one of the first places touched by destruction and chaos and a colonized situation where they were destroying the lands, right?
Yeah,
So
it was
of
a big
course,
war. It was a big
right,
war.
of
Yeah.
course, it being one of the first places that got touched is going to be one of the first places that has to get corrected.
Woo! Kill butterfly, you passing with flying colors. Wow.
So this is just what that is. You're just reaping, or you're seeing where people are starting to correct the wrongs that have happened on that land.
Ooh, she's right, because that was the most fertile place in America at that time. I mean, you talk about the places I've been to in Florida. Oh my! The air, the beautiful.
Well,
The
just imagine what's gonna
even
happen in New York.
go ahead, say that again.
Just imagine what's going to happen in New York, because one of the biggest slave trade places was in New York. So they would
Correct.
bring a lot of the slaves into New York. That was one of them. There was many along the east coast of the United States. However, that was one of the forbearing places for slave trade, right?
You think New York is? I don't think New York is going to get corrected. I think they're going through their worst because they had their good time. They had their prosperous time.
I'm going
To
to tell you,
me,
I can tell you what I feel is going to happen. And I told my ex-husband, and I wanted him to get out of there because I get messages from the divine creator, but it's not going to be anything good. I'm going to be honest with you.
yeah, they. I don't see them getting back up. I don't see it getting back up because they had their right period in the 90s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. I would say by 2008 it went down spiraling. I don't see it getting back up. The only places that's gonna getting it right is Florida, Texas. I would say for now Tennessee. I would say North Carolina. For
Just know
Georgia, Georgia's in trouble. Georgia's in trouble. But go ahead.
just know this. So I know how the divine creator works, right? So when the
Go
divine
ahead.
creator is trying to put things back into purpose and back into order, so the divine creator knows the amount of people that would fight to not bring order back, right? So if Florida and Texas are malleable unto the divine creator, it means that the divine creator feels that the people could easily be switched into order, right? Or go back into order.
Right, right,
When
right.
you see chaos, when you see complete chaos in certain cities, those are places that the divine creator does not have enough people that are malleable to bring things back into order. So guess what's going to happen?
Say that again. Oh, that's a wrap.
If,
Say
if
that
you
again.
have if you have a city or a place where there's complete disorder or chaos, it's because the divine creator doesn't have enough people to work with to bring it back into order. So what will happen, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be God's honest truthful with you, is it will be destroyed. Is any city in the past that could not be brought back into order was destroyed.
Hey, she said it. So if it's not one of counsel, I think it's
If
scripture says
you're
it's
if
not
you're not
counsel
in a
among you.
city, if you're not in a city that there's enough people that the divine creator can work through or work with that are
Yeah.
malleable to bring things back into order, it will be destroyed. That's just the facts.
Woo wee. Oh my goodness, this is fire. I love this type of talk. Yes, I do. It's gonna go right through some of y'all's head, but she's right. Yeah, she's right. If it's no order, the place will be done. If there's no counsel
I mean,
of the Most High in there,
the history proves it. I mean, look at all the major ancient cities and civilizations that were destroyed in the past. You have a
yeah,
Mayan civilization that was destroyed.
yeah,
You have the Egyptian civilization that was destroyed. There were
yeah.
more in Antarctica and the North Pole and South Pole, but we don't know about that because it's covered in ice. So we don't know about those civilizations that were destroyed. So
Right.
every single civilization, the Babylonians and what have you, have all been destroyed. And if they've been destroyed, it means that they were not malleable, that the divine creator could not work with them to bring back order.
Mm. Woo-wee. It's just like when the angels told Lot it's time to go because it was overbearing and they didn't want to correct their ways, it was destroyed. And that's what's going to happen. A lot of people that's in these cities that is of the Most High's doing, he's going to tell the angels, he's going to give the warning, get out. Well, I got my family, I got kids. Get out.
Well, just know that the divine creator has pockets of people all over the world that
Yep.
are malleable unto him. So we don't judge because we don't know who the divine creator is working with. I don't personally judge. I just let things flow the
No,
way they flow.
it's not judging, it's correction because
No, I don't correct. I don't correct. That's the divine creator's job to correct. I personally, now if I have my own kids, do I correct my kids? Yeah, because that's divine order, and I have to
okay.
because that's my children, right?
Right.
But
So you mean
that's
to
up
tell
to the
me,
divine
hold
creator.
on, hold on, hold on. Let me say this to you. You mean to tell me, because we basically judge the places we was at in a sense. Indirectly or directly, we judge the places we don't want to be at. What I'm trying to get you to understand is this, right?
I don't judge it. I'm gonna be honest because I don't know who's in those cities that the divine creator might be working with to change it
Yeah,
around.
no. No, that's true. The Divine City got people in New York that I know that speaks the truth and all these other places. What I'm saying to you is this. When he says, I'm being precise, he told Lot and his daughters and his wife to get out. Did he not tell them?
Yeah, and they got out. The
Abraham wanted to take the place.
one person that went back and turned back was his wife.
Right. So what I'm
She
saying,
turned to go back. She didn't have faith. She
right,
didn't have a personal relationship with the divine creator. So Lot was the one that had the personal relationship with the divine creator. However, Lot's daughters listened to Lot. The wife
right,
didn't have that, and that's why she turned back.
right. So what I'm saying to you is this. If we are his messengers, we are to do of his word. We are to warn the people.
I don't think I'm a messenger. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I'm a witness.
You play a role. You play a role in something. Some capability.
I'm a witness. I've been witnessing this, and I'm attesting from witnessing. So when I speak,
Right,
I speak from a witness, an eyewitness point of view. That's how I speak from. I don't speak in any other way. I speak as an eyewitness.
Okay, so we got the witness. That's true. That's in the book. Witness, messengers. You have prophets. You have angels, and you have the Christ. You have the Lord. You have the divine order. So what I'm saying to you is this, right? Everything you said is on point, and this is a great. I mean, this conversation is on fire. It's almost an hour and a half. It don't feel like it. So when y'all look back at this video, y'all, I hope it really inspire y'all because this lady is very busy. For her to come on here is very good to bring a balance.
I came on because the divine creator told me to. That's why.
Right. Absolutely. So, what's your final words on this topic? And I appreciate your way of want me to do better, and I will do better. We all go through something. Sometimes you don't need to spit it out.
I really felt bad when you were down and out. And I know when you get down and out, sometimes you get in your own way and you're in that bubble. And I don't think this time anybody can reach you then. And I think that people reach you after the fact. And I didn't want you to be super depressed and stuff, and I get it. I really do, because I mean, I don't speak on all my lows and stuff. I don't speak on
Right.
those, but I've had them too. I understand it. I understand those feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want you to feel like that. And I was trying to, when I said Reiki healers, I just want to tell you what a Reiki healer does. A Reiki healer changes and transforms energy. They have a
Okay.
gift. When they touch you, when they touch your body, they change the energy. Okay. And that's all I was telling you. Reiki healers don't tell you anything. They don't say anything. All they do is ask questions. And from those questions, they start healing. Okay. That's
Okay.
it. So when I told you to seek a actual, some people are fake Reiki healers. So, a true Reiki healer is you're gonna pay some hundreds of dollars to talk to an actual real Reiki healer. Real Reiki healers will pull that type of energy out of you. The Reiki healers I had helped me. What was part of the problem with me and my ex-husband was my childhood trauma. Okay. And my childhood trauma got in the way of our relationship a lot of the time. So when I was with him the first time when we were in our 30s, I was coming into the relationship from a wounded child at 3 years old, being RAPE'd as a 3-year-old child, and again, molested as an 11-year-old child. So when I came to him in the relationship, my body and my spirit and my mind was performing in our relationship from a 3-year-old and an 11-year-old child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I needed to have that Reiki healer pull out of the closet in my brain the trauma that had happened to me from 3 years old, to be able to deal with it as an adult grown woman, and from an
Right.
adult grown woman perspective, and heal my inner child. So those Reiki healers helped me to do that by hypnosis and things like that. So I pulled out, because I remembered some of the stuff that happened to me at 3 years old, but I didn't remember it all, because the 3-year-old psyche of a child will, in order for the safety of the brain of that child, will block a lot of information. Okay. And that's what a lot of people in this world, when I talk about disorder and order, the divine creator understands or knows that it takes a lot to pull the disorder out of a child, especially a 3-year-old child or a younger child or whatever, the psyche, in order to heal the child. Do you know what I'm saying? So that they can become, yes. And we are dealing with a society of people that child molestation and RAPED happens frequently, because the society is in disorder.
Yeah.
We think that it's a normal thing, when it's really not a normal thing, and it affects everyday life. It affects relationships. It affects a lot of different things. It affects your ability to make money. It affects your ability to function. It affects everything. And so that's why the opposition of the divine creator is doing that to children. Because that's how you break a whole family down. That's how you break everything down. That's how you create the chaos. That's how you create the disorder. You hit the children.
And they putting certain things in these children's books that we wasn't privy to.
The children are completely on attack, because their food is attacked, their education is attacked, their bodies are attacked,
Absolutely.
their spirituality is attacked.
That's
Everything is attacked in a child. And then just think of a child that gets attacked spiritually, their body's attacked, their food is attacked, that it's supposed to nourish their bodies to grow, and all these different things. When they become adults, guess what's going to happen? They're not going to have a connection with the divine creator, because that opposition is trying to break all connections from that child to the divine creator, so that the divine creator cannot speak to that child.
That is true. That is
and
true.
not speak to that child when that child becomes an adult.
That is true. The trauma, we call it the trauma bonding. And it's very real. And I'm glad that you got the help that you needed at that particular time. Because
Yeah, Yeah, they pulled it
Let me-
out of
let me-
me, and I've benefited. It's been now close to 15, almost close to 10 years or something since I had the Reiki healing stuff. And that's what I'm telling you. He doesn't like, I think he said he doesn't agree with that, right? But listen, for me, it worked. And the divine creator worked through those Reiki healers for my body, for my spirit, for my energy, for a greater connection unto the divine creator.
do y'all understand that we don't have to agree? The thing is, there are healers out there. The Most High had his healers, and then we know the Debo has healers. We have to be careful of who we entertain.
I mean,
Um,
Native American shamans are healers. It's the same. The shamans do the exact same things Reiki healers doing.
Now, do I believe that the Most High have healers? Well, our brother Pastor Dow does healing people when they go to the church. So
Yeah.
I do believe that there are healers, but you have to go to the right person. She didn't say go to anybody. Go to the person that knows what they're doing, and be careful who you entertaining. So she found somebody that helped her. Look, let me tell you something. There's stuff in this world that we're not aware of.
When
And I'm
before
not
before
saying,
I had that
yeah,
healing, I would literally, my kids can attest, when they were little, I would sometimes not even consciously, I would start crying in the middle of the night because that inner child was still harmed, right? And
yeah, yeah,
every
yeah.
little thing that the world did to that inner child made that child cry. And I would cry, and I was an adult woman in the 30 in her 30s, and I would
Yep.
just break down and weep and cry because I would, for one, I would feel sorry for, oh God, I could tell you so much stuff, Rollo. It's not even funny.
Let me
Spiritually.
say this. I don't want you to go too back to that deep, that deep.
No, I mean,
Innocent.
I have no emotional attachment to that pain anymore because I've healed it.
Let me say this though. A lot of men and a lot of women have been tortured at their childhood.
Yes.
And when you get with someone, this is very important. She can help me out with this. When you get with someone, it's not that they don't want you to touch them. It's not that they don't want you to be with them. She has to trust you enough. And let me say this because I'm not trying to be messy, but there's a particular content creator allegedly is pointing out, guys, when a woman sends you something that's valuable to her, personal pictures, if she's attacking you, get at her talking points. You don't have to get personal because let me tell you something. That means you're going through a trauma hood.
Can
And
I say
and
something? If
and
women,
and, it- and, it's, and, it's, and the thing is, guys, you have, even if you're not with that person, whatever you did behind the scenes, do not put it out in public. Do not do that because it's going to make you look bad. Go ahead.
so a lot of times, I just want to say this. You think that women are just being fast, or they're being, WHORES, right? But the real truth in the matter, if a woman gives you naked pictures very easily, and she's giving to you very easily, a lot of times the reason why they do that, and I'm going to be God's honest truthful, is because they were already violated as children, and they didn't have the power because they're children, right? Children can't fight off adults. So
Yeah.
when that happens to her as a child, when she becomes adult, she's like, oh, okay, well, I'm already there. Like, I've already been violated. So what's one more violation? What's two more violations? What's three more violations? It's just like, this is just how things are, right? So
Mhm.
until the divine creator can actually speak to that person and really take the pain out and let that person fully understand what is transpiring with them and why they are doing what they're doing. The same thing with the story with Mary Magdalene and Jesus, right?
Yes.
The
We know
story
that
with
we know
Mary
the
Magdalene,
Pharisees.
when,
Before you
yes.
say something, we know the Pharisees and Sadducees have sex well. That's why they didn't stone her.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even just them. It was even his own disciples wanted to stone her. Okay. And so when he put the foot in the sand, he was letting them know, for one, a lot of those men that wanted to stone her had already slept with her. So
Right, 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 right.
when he put the line in the sand, he was like, okay, he without sin cast the first stone. He knew that they were sleeping with her. So why they wanted to stone her, but yet they still slept with her. So he saw the
Right, right,
hypocrisy in
right,
that.
right, right.
So he
Go
saw
ahead.
the hypocrisy in that, right? So people wonder, why did Jesus come to this woman who had a history of prostitution, right?
Go ahead. Speak on it.
Because the divine creator understood that this was a woman most likely violated from childhood, and it was just second nature at this point from childhood unto adulthood to just go ahead and make money off of the violation that's already occurred. So if Jesus came to be the one to break the dysfunction or break the disorder, right? He had to go to the root source of the disorder, right? And with her, and when he spoke, he was speaking to the disorder. All the men were dealing with her in a capacity of disorder.
Right, right.
Okay? And so he was speaking to the disorder to correct the disorder. That is really why Jesus took her under his wing. Do you want to be honest with it? That's the reason. And after she learned and she woke up to the disorder, from the disorder, she wept.
Stopped doing it.
And she stopped doing it. And she was super thankful for the one that basically unbound her. She was basically bound to prostitution. And when he broke the disorder.
Can we add on to this? Y'all about to get this lesson. In the book of Amos, chapter 7, verse 17, it says, a wife shall be a harlot in the city. What's your take on that, Mrs. Spear?
Say it again.
A wife shall be a harlot in the city. What's your take on that? I want to hear your point.
You want me to tell you the truth? Okay. If everybody that's supposed to be, if the divine creator or what you consider your most high, made Israel its wife, and Israel is made up mainly of men when it comes to the council, right?
Yes.
And if the men are wives unto the divine creator, and the divine creator is saying, or I don't consider that God the divine creator, but that's your creator, right? It's a sub creator to the divine creator to bring back order. So if that God is telling you that he married the council of men, and that God said that they were wives unto the divine, or to that God, I keep saying divine, but a God is a wife unto that God, the Most High, right? That means that every single man and woman is a harlot in the system.
Yeah. And the system that we're currently in, correct?
Yeah, we're in it. We're all
because
we're all harlots.
Means taken advantage of, correct?
Exactly.
That's what it stands for, y'all. So we broke it down. You allow these people to take advantage of you. That's what it basically means.
It's not that you're allowing, you want to allow it. It's that the corrector for these problems isn't here to correct that problem right now. At that time for Mary Magdalene, at that time for Mary Magdalene, that divine being came to Mary Magdalene and corrected her and set her straight and freed her from bondage. It freed her from the prostitution bondage that she was under.
But basically, we all been pimped and pimped out by these people.
Yeah, so don't think anybody's better than Mary Magdalene, because we're all in it. We're all deep in it.
Ooh-wee.
And it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. And unfortunately, children we should be protecting, and we are not. Do you know what would happen to somebody if they RAPED'd a child back then?
They'd be hung.
They'd be dead. They wouldn't get a chance to do it to another child. Yep. We don't do that. We live in a society where we protect the ones that are violating children.
Yeah, we accept. So basically, what she's saying, y'all, is that society as a whole, for the majority, not all, but the majority of the population has accepted prostitution and disrespect to the youth and to the elderly and to us. Because if you know better, you want to do better. That's why she said earlier, if there's no counsel in a particular place, it will be chaos and destruction.
If there's nobody that the divine creator can work with to put things back in order, that city will be destroyed.
Yeah. Exactly, Carter. We do protect the wrong people in this wicked society. That is correct.
So yeah, that's basically what I came on to say. And when I come on, if I feel compelled, it's because the divine creator tells me to. So
absolutely, absolutely.
You get what I'm trying to say? It's not that like I'm coming with profound information. I'm not coming with profound information. The divine creator is speaking through me. That's it.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, Pure. All praise to the Most High. Like I said, people, just because everybody have their belief doesn't mean you don't. They see things. We kind of see things similar. Just because of a little bit of a difference, don't let that sidetrack you from the important message she said. She said something that is true. A lot of things she said was true. It can't be denied. We all been, for the most part, even if we woke up, we've been taken advantage of. We've been a prostitute to this society too long.
Everybody's a prostitute. If you go to work, I don't care if you're not using your genital parts. You're using the most important part, which is from the divine creator, which is your brain and your energy.
Right. Yep. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, we expel energy being on here. That takes a lot, y'all. So when you see these people do it every day, you don't realize how tired it could be, how much expelling. So at least respect the people's. You don't have to agree. Respect and look into what they say. That's why I'm very good at business, because I know not everybody's going to agree, but if we can meet in the middle, that's all that matters. This is what they don't. You think the powers that be want this type of conversation to have with her, to have with me by the Spirit?
No, because I've been blocked for a lot of things. Anything that's super important. Same thing with Mad Head Doctor. Anything that's super important that people really should know, it gets blocked.
Yep. So think about the cause, and remember, when we get off these things, we gotta answer to somebody. Everybody got to answer to somebody. Even on YouTube, I have to answer to YouTube. Yep.
Hopefully,
now they got my device.
Hopefully,
they got
you're
my
answering.
Device over here, Pure. They got my device over here. Say your final words. They messing with the phone.
I just want to say, hopefully, that you are paying. You're open yourself up to the divine creator to speak to you. That's all I say.
Absolutely. Appreciate you coming on.
All right. Thank you for having me on. Have a good one, you guys. Okay, bye.
Later. Yep. Eat the mint and spit out the bones. Hey, support the Cash App, $Rollo954. Support me on the Chime account for my B-Day. Support me before my B-Day or on my B-Day. I'll talk with y'all soon. Y'all take it easy and peace.